Hello, my name is AJ. Welcome to Pella Talk. Let's get into it. Hello, we're doing a marriage advice. So let's begin. The title is My Marriage May Be Over. Don't make the same mistake I did. What mistake did you do? That's a title. That's what I gotta say. I'm curious, very curious. I wish I had like a magnifying glass. Curious. And a cigar. Okay, so I'm gonna start reading. I, male 42, have been struggling for years. I was broken and not dealing with life well. I couldn't handle my stress and did not see all I had. I took it for granted. Sometimes people, when they struggle and stuff, they're blinded of what they can't, like, they're blinded of what they can't see in front of you, like a family, what they have, you know what I mean? Like a place to sleep and a roof over their head, and they're blinded by what good they have in their life. That's why I said I took it for granted. That's why he wrote I took it for granted. You know what I mean? Like probably he had a job, a wife. That's why we're talking about marriage advice right now. Maybe even kids because he's 42. But anyway, after a mental breakdown that put me in a hospital, that's sad. That is. I continued to not do the work I needed. A month later, she said I needed to leave. So now I am in a rental. I finally took a leave of absence to go to an intensive outpatient program and work on my mental health. Okay, that's a good step, actually. But sad that she had to kick you out because of the situation, I think. We didn't get that far. But anyway, but good for him that he went to a program for what happened and stuff for his mental health. Anyway, it has been the best thing I've done for myself outside of building the life I have for my family. That's what I was gonna say. That is the best step that he could do. And especially for him also, because he needs to be healthy for his family. He needs to take care of himself first, then take care of his family. The damage was still done. I spent years irritable and difficult to be around. I made my wife and daughters walk on eggshells around my moods and took the maladaptive coping mechanisms like alcohol, weed, avoidance, and blame. Okay, now we're getting why she kicked him out. At least he's admitting to it, saying the damage is still done. And that is a thing to be difficult. Like he made it difficult to be around like the wife and the daughters. That's the thing. You can't take blame out on your family, the people that are there to be supporting you and you to be supporting them. That's not good. You can't be doing that to your family. But at least he is saying that I said things that got back to my wife and I hurt her deeply. Things that convened. I no longer wanted to be married. I looked for excuses instead of looking inside. At the same time, I knew I loved them. I just couldn't get a grip on my life. One day I would be miserable and overwhelmed. The next, I would look at her and be filled with love. In neither case did I communicate, and it made things worse. That's the thing about like this mental health. I don't know a lot about it, so don't quote me on it. But I know some. But I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a person. I'm just here to help with advice. Like I said, you can't take it out on your family. You know what I mean? I know at the time it might seem like that was the only punching bags. You know what I mean? But like saying stuff about that, about your wife, you no longer wanted to be married, alcohol around the kids, weed around the kids, avoidance and blaming the kids and wife, all that around the wife and your kids. That's your family. That's why he said, I believe I took it for granted, because he didn't see all of that in front of him, what he had. You know what I mean? Because he was blinded, like I said in the beginning. That's a sad thing, and I see why the wife kicked him out. But like he said, he would be miserable and overwhelmed, but then the next day he would look at his wife and made him feel tons of love and stuff, filled with love. But when he communicated, it made things worse. So I wonder what like things he communicated and it made it worse. Because I always say trust and communicate is like a really key thing. You know what I mean? But if he is using alcohol and stuff, he could not be communicating correctly. He could be saying the wrong things to her. But anyway, I blamed my family because I was too much of a coward to look at myself and do what needed to be done. At least he's really like saying it, like some people wouldn't be like saying this, you know what I mean? At least he's taken, like he said, it's his fault. He's to be blamed. Now that I am doing the work and taking care of myself, I am filled with so much love for them. I can't believe I let this happen. I lost myself and took it out on them. I do not know if my marriage will survive. I actually truly hope it does, because I'm not a divorce advice person, but that's actually up to the wife willing to be by your side no matter what, because like in vows, in sickness and health, for better and for worse, the whole 9-yard thing. But the only reason why I would get a divorce, if I've been cheated on, if I was abused, and if a person was like a full-on blown alcoholic that can't like stay away from it, like craves that type of deal. Like you could drink and shit, but if you can't live without it, I'm done. But you should always trust and communicate. And at least he's being honest that he's the one who's doing it all. But don't take your family for granted. Don't ever do that, no matter how the situation is. I know he said it's his mental, so because of his mental health, it probably just took a big grasp at him, you know, but now he's seeing it, and that's good. And I hope it will survive. I really do. I am just doing the best I can do to heal and be the best version of myself I can. If there is any grace in the universe, I will get my family back. The work will not end. It is my responsibility forever. If she decides that cannot happen, it will be my burden to carry. She was just trying to keep us all together. I feel so ashamed. I want to cry reading this, honestly. This is really a sad one. I'm not making anything funny in here. This is like a real, like, serious one. But it is also like a partnership, like, you know what I mean? So she's going to have to figure out what she wants, because like he said before, the damage is done. So she's going to have to think of, is it going to happen again type deal, you know what I mean? And if he did say if she doesn't want to be with him, that's his burden to carry, which is true. But if they do work on it together, hopefully, you know, because they have kids, and plus I feel like she still loves him, even though we don't have a lot on her side. But she tried to keep them together and stuff, but I guess she had the end of the rope, like, nope, done type of deal. But he still dramatically loves her. I just wish he saw that way sooner till it got worse. You get what I'm kind of saying? You know what I mean? Okay. If you are struggling personally, get help. If you don't, it may come out upon your family and do damage. But yeah, no, take care of yourself. Like, if you know you're gonna, like, some people don't know if they're having like a breakdown or a midlife crisis type deal. But if you do, try to step away a little bit to heal and take care of yourself, because you need to take care of yourself. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your family. it could be vice versa as well. You know what I mean? Because you have to be healthy for your family, to take care of your family. That's just how it works. But yeah, get help as fast as you can if you do notice that kind of stuff. But let's read comments. Hopefully they're nice ones. Hopefully nobody's bashing him, because he is coming clean. He's on here for a reason. Okay. So somebody said, my alcoholic husband did this to me, and I felt like I was being tortured in a mental prison for years and years and years. 10 months ago, he finally cheated on me and abandoned me. It's been the worst time of my life, but I see things different now. But it doesn't change the fact that he was an alcoholic that mistreated me and tormented me for so many years. So I'm damaged now that I don't even think that love exists. That's what I kind of said about the wife before. I said, because the damage is done, so she has to choose if that could happen again, you know what I mean? But Jesus. I hope this person that just wrote this, the commenter, hopefully finds love, and hopefully she's okay and stuff like that. I don't think we're going to get that much on here, because this was only a day ago. I feel so sorry for these people. God damn. They're going to make me cry. Somebody said, that's really sad. I'm so sorry to hear that happen to. Yeah, like, fuck, goddamn. Like, it's sad because you're supposed to be there for that person to help, like what she just did. I know we're on a different person, the commenter. But then it got worse. She got cheated on as well. That's just, oh my God. Okay, sorry. I'm just like ranting myself. Okay, somebody says, I know it will mean nothing to you right now to say it does, but I will say that if it is someone or something you want to have in life, don't give up. And when the right person comes around, you'll know it. However, right now, because of the trauma, your mind is in protection mode, which is true. So this person's writing back to the first commenter, and won't let you know it. So it's very important to do what you can to let yourself heal. That's very true. That's very true, because like 5 years from now or whatever, she's like fine and stuff like that, she could be like, oh my God, I love this guy. You know what I mean? And then she'll be like, oh, love does exist. I want to see, and so many people are like, God bless you, with little hearts with like wraps on them, like her heart was broken. So somebody said, hopefully it's to the post instead of, because so many, like I said, it was just about that woman. In another universe, my husband wrote this and my heart is at peace. I hope things work out for the best. Okay. I really do. I hope so too. Like, I hope everything works out the way it's supposed to be. And plus, like, if your love is like that pure and stuff like that, and you got better for your family, stuff like that, hopefully she could see that. But like you said, everything has been, the damage has been done. So hopefully it works out. Somebody said, it sounds like you've learned some really good recovery tools. Keep it up, a day at a time. True. That is very true. I'm sorry it took a mental breakdown to get to this point, but sometimes we need to see the bottom before we can get back up. Oh, that's a good line. That sounds like my husband. Can I ask, what actions have you taken to better improve your mental health? So this person maybe is asking. I know he went to rehab or like the hospital, right? Yeah. But that's all we have. That sucks. I'm just scrolling at the same freaking stuff because it was all for that other girl. Tell me what you think in that one. Did he do the right thing that he realized? I know he did not the right thing in the beginning, but I don't know that much about mental health. I know just a little bit. But that sucks, you know. But please and like and subscribe. Bye.